Hello everybody and welcome back for some more FNAF news. So there's quite a bit of FNAF news, and I also have some other stuff that I want to go into that doesn't really have anything to do with FNAF, but I'm going to go into that afterwards because I know you all want the FNAF news and I really want to get into it because some of this I've already seen and I've talked about over on Instagram, which you should totally follow by the way, at Jaffa YT. At Jaffa YT, edit me, you gotta show off the thing. Listen to me. Don't show it off fully. Don't. I'm gonna do the reveal later. Okay? I'm gonna go over this roughly and sequentially, with the exception of a movie teaser, which I'm gonna actually go over after. So it makes more sense to go over the still stuff. So starting off with this, which is from a Dorco live stream from just over a day ago, apparently, according to Instagram. So. Don't let your weekend suck. The Clean Old Bag recently made an exclusive appearance on Ad Lewis Darkin's livestream. See more of our newest favorite appliance in Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic, available June 13th. And so this, obviously, is Clean Old Bag, but you may be thinking, well, Jaffa, have we not seen this before? And that's right. That's right, we have seen this before in Security Breach, and it was a wet floor bot. Oh, you were thinking of the VHS tape. Well, it's not really a VHS, it's more like a CRT. But you get my gist. We saw it in a MCM archive tape. Also, the cleaner back. And yes, I mean, it kind of told you that already. Like, it literally says right here. The cleaner back. It says right there. He's so adorable. He's so adorable. Pat. If you don't know what the reference is to, in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, there's a bunch of wet floor bots. I believe Ruin called them souls, and Dorco did this whole thing of whenever he saw one, and that was the whole thing because they're fucking adorable. I mean, look at this wet floor bot. Look at it. Pat. I mean, how could you not? It's too adorable not to. But yeah, that's number one. And also something, if you see there's a hand. Wait for him to pat again. There. It looks like a hand. Now, I have a feeling that either, because it looks mechanical, either that's something that we haven't seen before. Look at that and tell me it's not Maestro Music Man's room. That is his room. Obviously, we can't go without talking about. I forgot what he's called. It said what he's called. Mr. Helpful. It says right there. It says on his thing. It says on his box. It says on his control panel. Why does it look like a control panel for a car? That's weird. I just noticed that. I've looked so much at this season already. Because this season just says so much, and it's really quite out of the depth. So first of all, I want to talk about Mr. Helpful, because again, I don't have anything except for a gut feeling, but he seems to be kind of a like Jack in the Box. And like I said, I talked about this on Instagram. I'm wondering if that's going to be a theme. I say that I don't have much evidence. I have two bits of evidence. I have Jackie and I have Mr. Helpful. Those are my two bits of evidence because they seem to be this whole thing of it's like a torso or like kind of waist up animatronic, and then there's some kind of thing attaching it to a box-like shape. Jackie's box. Not that one, we're not doing it again. We did a whole like 7-minute bit last time. And with Mr. Helpful, we've got this control panel, which I still think looks like a car. I've just noticed that and I can't shake it off. Why does it look so much like a car? You've even got the speedometer, which is actually symbols from the interview with Evan Lampai. So the current theory, or like the general consensus. The general consensus is that these symbols are going to allow us to enter different areas. My thinking is that perhaps that's almost going to be how we enter different levels. So, this obviously seems to be some kind of reception. You've got a little desk there. It just gives the vibes of like a big kind of showroom that you get in like a museum or like on a tour. And then it opens up to all these different areas. Like you may have like one that goes into, say, ancient Rome. And then another bit goes into ancient Greece. Maybe another one goes into, trying to think of another time period, the Victorian ever. Yes, the Victorian ever. How did I fuck up? It's a 3-letter word. But my point is that if you look at this seems to be like kind of your central piece. You've got Mr. Helpful. And you just go up to her, presumably push the button to talk, like it says to, push the button. And then you would insert your data diver, which we know is called that from Dorco's interview with Evan Lampite. Dorco's really helpful with these teasers, isn't he? And you would put that in. Presumably, you'd then be able to, depending on what you've got unlocked, you could then go to these different areas. Presumably, those would be kind of your way to get to different, like, I guess, kind of boss fights. So presumably, you would start off with one that would allow you to go to the birthday showroom. And if that box looks familiar, that's because that is the one that we got in the very first season, which we got last year for the 10-year anniversary. And whilst, yes, the animatronic in that looks a bit different, unless Secret of the Mimic proves otherwise, which we only have a couple weeks to go, I would fully put that down to it being just design, like just the evolution of Jackie's design. That was like a pretty like final model, but not quite done. Then they've done Jackie, because we only saw like that much. We saw like that. That's not a lot to go off. So I would fully put it down to, if it's not outright like, here's another animatronic that's also springing from a box, then I would fully put it down to it just being just design, evolving, just game development in general. I would fully put it down to that. So we've got presumably Jackie's box there on the birthday showroom. So presumably that would be like one of the very first ones, because from what I understand, that was like the very first level at PAX. So you kind of go in to Jackie's room, you see them, you have to go get the like the crank, the wind them up crank. Sorry, brain is not braining today. And then you go, and then you unlock different areas, you do some puzzles, and you get chased. That was like the first bit. I may be wrong, I didn't go to PAX. Clearly. Yeah, I may get that wrong. I didn't go to PAX, and it's been a while since I've recapped on that. But like in 2 weeks, I will get to do it myself, so. So yeah, presumably that would be like the first level, and then you unlock different areas, and you presumably go to Maestro Music Man's level. Presumably there's other rooms dotted around, of like Dolly's area, and Arnie, which is my name for the elephant, which I keep feeling I have to explain because it's not catching on. And then you have all your different areas, which would presumably go, and they'll be unlocked. And then this one is the one that just came up, which I was going to just start this video without this coming out, because I wasn't sure whether or not we'd get a Mimic Monday. So yeah, this looks like it is the weird bee swing that we have had in quite a lot of the teasers and posters. And I may be wrong, but I'm sure there was like some kind of bee poster at PAX. I don't know if it was this or if it was another one. I remember hearing there being a poster to do with a bee, and it was like probably the bee swing that we've seen in a few of the teasers. I believe it's on the Steam page as well. So I'm presuming this is just like an advert, which kind of goes in line with a lot of the teasers we've been getting recently anyway, with the MCM archives, with it being an advert for a coffee machine and a coach rack that secretly has artificial intelligence in. Maybe it is going to be an animatronic. Maybe this is another thing that Edwin is being contracted to work on. I don't know. But I really want to get onto the next teaser, which is from the FNAF area, and I don't know if they already did this. That's not what I meant to click on. They changed the logo. I think they've changed the logo. I think before it was just the 2. I believe it was just the 2. But now you've got the proper logo, 5 Nights at Freddy's 2. So first of all, we got confirmation that there's going to be a Halloween Horror Night. 5 Nights at Freddy's is coming in a whole new way. So this year it's Universal Studio Halloween Horror Nights in both Hollywood and Orlando. More details coming soon. So I'm presuming just some kind of typical scare maze kind of thing. We don't know. More details coming soon, but that's happening. And then this one, anyone out there? Hashtag FNAF 2 movie only in theaters December 5th. Which I recently got the trailer for. It was really cool. I was in the cinema. I was watching the Final Destinations video. I was watching the brand new Final Destinations movie, and I got the trailer for this. So that was really cool. It was really cool. I didn't realize they was putting the actual trailers out this soon. I was thinking it was going to come close to the fall, but it makes sense. It makes sense that they've already got them out there. There seems to be the same Faz talker that we got a while back, where it's like, you there? And I think we've already said pretty much all that we can say on it. I don't think there is much to it other than it is going to be a key thing. It seems like it's going to have a major role within the movie. I don't know, obviously we don't know too much about it. I don't have many ideas around what it could be, especially not for what it was meant for originally, right? It seemed, I think, again, general consensus is that it's a spirit box. It kind of looks like that. I would imagine it's going to be the same text to speech from FNAF 2, where it's like, Y-O-U-T-H-E-R-E. And it's just going to be that kind of very robotic voice, and that's going to be how the animatronics communicate to us. But who knows? We don't really know too much about it. I'm so confused on what it's meant to be in universe, like what it was originally meant for. Like, what is the attraction to this? Like, you've got some buttons on the top. Maybe those are meant to do something. Maybe it's just like one of those things where you're meant to kind of like you input your little message into it, and Toy Freddy goes, "You there?" And that's the whole gimmick. I don't know. It's so weird. What is it meant to be in universe? Yeah, there's not much that really add too much about it. I think I went a bit more into kind of my ideas on how the spirit box could kind of play into the movie in a previous video, which was just after the vlogs, and I believe, where I went into like there was a talks about the mango scene, a bunch of other stuff. Go check that video out. There'll be a link at the end of the video and the end cards. And speaking of end cards, that's one of the things that I want to talk about today. Yeah, so the thing that I want to talk about for kind of a little update on the show is, so obviously it's Pride Month, so happy Pride Month to everyone. What I'm going to be doing is, for the rest of Pride Month, instead of doing my regular just kind of Pride heart at the end for the end cards, I'm going to do each new day, not each new video, because I'm sure, especially with Secret America, there's going to be probably end up being multiple uploads at a time, but every day that I upload, there'll be a different flag in the heart. So today we've got the trans flag, because that one is a lot, that one's quite special to me. I know quite a few trans people. Well, I'm not going to go into it, I don't want to out anyone, but that is what this one is. So today we've got the trans flag, so happy Pride for everyone. And then the second thing I want to go about is Editor Jaffa now has a form, which is scary. Why does Editor Jaffa have a form? He's meant to be just text. Why did he get a form? I don't know. You guys should know though, because you're the ones who bloody voted for it. But this is the regular form. Obviously, I've got a lot more that I've got to draw. I've got to do a lot more of the different expressions. But currently we have the regular one. So I'm thinking this will probably be the main set. I'll probably do like a slightly different body. So sometimes he can just kind of be peeking over the side. That's kind of the regular one. That's gonna be like the go-to. Then we've got the angry spray, which I thought, you know what, that's probably gonna be used quite a lot. So that's the next one. And then obviously, because my hair's dyed at the moment, I had to do a slightly different version for both of those forms, where she's kind of blue hair with the brown sides. Obviously, what we're doing. I'm quite happy with these. I took quite a lot of inspiration from the Apothecary Diaries. Apothecary Diaries? Apothecary? I can't pronounce it. It's a hard word to pronounce. I believe it's the Apothecary Diaries. I think that's how you pronounce it. Where Mau Mau kind of becomes just chibi-fied a lot of the time. I took a lot of inspiration from that. I loved the way that it looks like in the anime. It just looks fucking phenomenal. I loved it. It's so cute. So I kinda want that. I've experimented with like a chibi form before. I forget what it was for though. I can't think of what it was originally meant to be. But yeah, that was my inspiration from this one. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to go over. But happy Pride Month, everyone. So yeah, if you want to know what the regular one looks, that's the current end card at the moment. That's the new one. Just for pretty much just today, I'm hoping that I might be able to quickly try and get a second video out, which will probably end up being the DLC. I know a lot of you don't watch that one, but that's one that I just like doing. It's fun just to do a bunch of random little voices. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end it there. Let me know what you guys think about the new Secret of the Mimic teasers. Obviously, the B one feels really self-explanatory, and I'm glad that we had more teasers. I've said this, I think, same last week. But I think a lot of the teasers are becoming almost self-explanatory. I think the paperwork one was just really odd, and I just didn't have anything to say on it. This one feels just more in line with the only thing I can think of that I could explain. It's like, hey, yeah, Edwin is a contractor. He's done this for another company. He's done this swing thing. I don't know if it's an animatronic or a decoration. It feels like a decoration. But also, why do they put this much emphasis on it if it's just a decoration, right? They're not going to put this much emphasis on a bit of wood. Admittedly, Lucky Boy exists. So, take that what you will. And Balloon Boy may or may not be made of wood or plastic. We don't know. Same with Lucky Joe the Magician and a bunch of others. Anyway, I could just list wooden animatronics for a while. Oh, also the woodcarver. That story exists. So I've just proved myself wrong with so many points. But yeah, it would feel weird if it was just a decoration and they put this much emphasis on it. So sum things up with that maybe it'll get like its own. I think it'll get a whole level. But maybe there'll be like a side thing. Maybe we'll get a few jump scares from that. But I'm really interested in the Mr. Helpful thing. So let me know what you guys think about that, and I'll see you in the next one. Good bit for now. Cue brand new end card.